Today I want to show you how you can run custom code inside of your Nordcraft application to extend its functionalities. It's super simple. Let's get right started with it. Now, there are two ways how you can add custom code. You can add it as a custom formula or as a custom action. Now, both of them have different use cases. You will use a formula if you're getting data that is already out there. So let's say a formula is the system language. Whenever you are running something to transform data or to get data, you can use a formula for that. Now, if you want to trigger something with custom code, like rendering a custom widget, showing an alert, running certain pieces of JavaScript that have events and all those kinds of things, we can use an action for that. So a formula is getting data, manipulating data, right? It's kind of like, think of it like a filter or a funnel between your nodes, your blocks, and an action is something that will kick off a workflow or that will kick off certain functionality using custom code. Now, let's start with some very basic examples and how we can implement them. So right inside of here, I already have my Nordcraft project, and let's start with a little formula. So in here, I'm going to use some custom code, and we have something available in the browser because Nordcraft essentially runs in the browser. So everything that you have in ordinary development, you have available to you in Nordcraft. We have navigator.language, which gives us the language of the user's computer. Now, Nordcraft doesn't natively do this, so we need to create a custom formula for that. So I will go on my files here. I will go on formulas. I'll click on plus, and let's call this language. Language. There you go. Let's click on create. And now I need to click on convert to custom code. Now we get a code editor with a JavaScript function inside of here. In this function, we will start writing our code. Now, you would just paste this inside of here, but a very important thing is we need to actually write it as a return statement. So you can't just write the code like this. You need to write wherever you want to return the value you want it to be returned after it was processed. You need to write return, a little bit like whist if you're familiar with that. You will just write return navigator.language. You keep this function here in case you need to have some dynamic inputs, but we'll do more videos on some of the more advanced setups when it comes to custom code and how you can work with properties and all those kinds of things. But for now, we just want to keep it simple. You can also give it a description if you want to. I'll just skip that. And now if we go into the home page here, I could duplicate this heading here. So let's duplicate it. And I can set the text on it, and I can set the text from this project formula here. And as you can see, we are getting the language of the computer that I'm filming this on because we're getting the native language variable that is in the navigator because we're running this in a browser, and we have this working natively as a no-code block, and it runs that, and we can edit the custom code to our liking if we want to. There you go. And then you can adjust the custom code to your liking. So this is how we do a formula. This is what a formula is. You can use it for setting text, for putting this into equations and all kinds of things. Now, what if we want to kick off an action, kick off an event, kick off something that does something with custom code? Now, for that, I got another cool example, which Nordcraft also does not natively support. This is the alert in JavaScript. Now in JavaScript, we have the ability to send a native alert. Most modern browsers support that. So let's copy the alert and let's create a custom action for that because we're actually doing something. So let's create a custom action and let's call this browser alert. Don't call it alert because sometimes it has an issue if you name your action, your custom action based on something that's native to the browser. Let's create this. Okay, so now inside of here, I will paste my message inside of here. So now I have this code in this function like we did before. And now when I go on my homepage here, I can add a button. And when I click on that button here, on click, I will then call my browser alert. So when I click on here, you will see that I'm getting the native browser alert. There you go. Now, how do we get that text to be dynamic? That's a good question. For that, we need to take a look at this custom action here. You see that we have the ability to add arguments to this code and events. We'll do another video about that. But we can have an argument. So that argument could be called message, and it can be a string. String is text. And then I will just remove this hard-coded message, and I will write args.message. And now we will dynamically add the message inside of here. So now when I go back to the home page, go back to the button, to the event, I can now see that there is an input on this custom coded action that is now turned into a Lego block where I can put a custom message. Let's call this custom message. There you go. Now if I click on here, you will see it saying custom message. There you go. And that's how simple this can be. Now we could even combine this. I can go inside of here and I can go on fx. I can do a concatenate to put two strings together. You don't need to follow this, but I could write something. Let's do system language, right? And then I will just put my custom coded formula with the system language. Now, when I click on this button that runs a custom action, it will then run a custom action, and with the custom formula, it'll bring actually in the dynamic system language inside of here. That's, in a nutshell, how you use custom code in Nordcraft. Now, there are way cooler things that you can do, rendering custom web components, bringing in third-party JavaScript libraries, and all those kinds of things. We'll make more videos about that, but if you want some help when it comes to custom code, you may be stuck at something, I would highly suggest you to take a look at NoCodeProCode.com. You will also find the link in the pinned comment and in the video description down below. It is a community that I created to help you make better progress in your Nordcraft projects. We help you with Nordcraft, with custom code, with Xano. If you're stuck at something, I would highly encourage you to join. We have daily office hours, Monday to Friday, where you can join our group Zoom meetings, ask your question, share your screen, show what's broken, or ask a hypothetical question. How should I start this project? It's way over my head, or something like this. And I will be personally able to guide you through the steps to solve it. We'll do them together. So it is the cheapest way how you can get assistance in building an application. Think about it like this. You can build it yourself for the low price of $129 a month compared to hiring a developer for $25,000 or more. So I would highly suggest you to take a look at that. If time is important for you, if actually getting this idea that you're working on out there, or getting this delivered to your client, or getting this out there for yourself or for your startup, I think this community will be the best investment. It's not just a community, it's also personal access to me, and I will be here helping you make progress with your application and to make sure that it gets out there safe and sound. So if you have any questions about the community or about the video, please feel free to contact me. I'm always happy to help. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll do more exciting videos on YouTube, and even way more exciting stuff on NoCodeProCode.com, from templates to courses to personal access to me and daily office hours to solve all your problems. Take a look at it, hopefully join, and we'll make more progress outside of YouTube, one-on-one, within the community. Take care.